So UFC Fight Night Sean Brady versus Gilbert Burns has just wrapped up, and Sean Brady absolutely schooled Gilbert Burns in there. Now, I will hold my hands up and admit I got this prediction wrong. I said that Gilbert Burns would KO Sean Brady. That just wasn't the case. Sean Brady just showed that he's levels above Gilbert Burns in there, really. Gilbert Burns did have moments in this fight, but Sean Brady was kind of in cruise control for most of it. He was in control of this fight majority of the time. Even on the feet, the amount of success Sean Brady was able to have against Gilbert Burns really surprised me. Now, not the biggest puncher in terms of power, Sean Brady, but he can put a lot of volume out there, and his leg kicks were pretty nice, especially the inside low kick that he was able to land effectively on Gilbert Burns pretty much whenever he wanted in this fight. Gilbert Burns, though, what I will say is, I think that's him done competing at the elite level. I don't think Gilbert Burns will ever be in and around the top 5. I don't even know if he'll stay in the top 10 at welterweight for that long if he is going to continue to compete. Really, in my opinion, it looked like Gilbert Burns just didn't want to be there last night, just by his facial expressions in there and the way he fought. Obviously, he's getting up there in age now. He is 38 years of age, and he is on a 3-fight losing streak. He got dominated by Sean Brady, brutally KO'd by JDM, and then schooled by Bilal Muhammad. So he hasn't really been that competitive in these fights outside of the JDM one, but like I said, he got viciously knocked out in the third round in that fight at UFC 299. So yeah, I think Gilbert Burns competing at the top level is done. Even in this fight, he just didn't fight like how we've seen recently. He was very kick heavy against JDM in their fight with body kicks, and he has very fast kicks as well. He actually broke JDM's arm in that fight with a kick, I'm pretty sure. Now, obviously, Sean Brady and JDM are two completely different styles. Maybe he didn't want to throw a lot of kicks against Sean Brady because Brady is a very grappling heavy fighter, and that he didn't want to run the risk of being taken down. But even if you watch that fight, even when Sean Brady did initiate the grappling, majority of the time Gilbert Burns got the better of it in terms of he was able to get right back up to his feet. His sprawls, his get-ups were good tonight in there. That wasn't anything to complain about with Gilbert Burns. What the issue was like, it was as if the lights were on but nobody was home. Like, Sean Brady was throwing 4 to 6 punch combinations. Gilbert Burns was throwing nothing back, covering like this and just stepping back. That was his form of defense. Now, obviously, Gilbert Burns is known to gas out a bit, so I thought maybe the smart approach would be to ease himself into this fight against Sean Brady, but he didn't get going. It was always looking for just that one big shot. Now, don't get me wrong, like I said, he did have success in there. He did land on Sean Brady at points, cracking Sean Brady with some good right hands, but really had no effect, to be honest. I just don't know. Just Gilbert Burns just wasn't on it tonight. Now, that's not taken away from Sean Brady. Sean Brady put on an absolute clinic in there, showed that he is deserving of... He is top 5 level. Obviously, he won't be ranked in the top 5 as Gilbert Burns wasn't, but he is thereabouts. Like I said, his striking is improving in every fight. There's a lot of clinching in this fight as well, as Sean Brady couldn't really get Gilbert Burns to the mat. But it kind of felt like even in the clinches, Gilbert Burns would do well of turning Sean Brady so his back is against the cage, but wouldn't really like hold a firm position or break away and try and control the center of the octagon. He was happy with letting Sean Brady control him up against the cage, land some pity patter shots, then reverse the position, then to be reversed again. Yeah, just Gilbert Burns' facial expressions and stuff like that just didn't look like the guy was really on it tonight. And obviously, legend of the sport, Gilbert Burns, he's taken a lot of damage throughout his career. I don't think he will be at the elite level much longer. I thought he was going to retire. He had the gloves off. If he had retired, that would have been criminal on the UFC to have Gilbert Burns' last fight in the fucking Apex. I thought we were done and moving out of the Apex. Why the fuck are events still being held there? This is so annoying. Dead arena. You could have got a bit of buzz in there, especially for the final rounds when like Gilbert Burns has to put everything on the table now and fucking go and knock Sean Brady out. Nothing. Silence in there. Great performance from Sean Brady. Made some call-outs afterwards. Kind of fumbled with a call-out, so I can't lie. I mean, it doesn't help that he couldn't even say Ian Gary's name. That wasn't a good look, to be honest. 2 seconds, I'm thirsty. Yeah, the fact that he wasn't even able to say Ian Gary's name, I was like, yeah, what are you doing, buddy? But yeah, anyway, Sean Brady called out Ian Gary. Ian Gary did fight down in his last fight against MVP, was a big name. I think Ian Gary, personally, I don't even really like the guy that much, but I feel like he deserves a jump up now, to be honest. A fight I'd like to see is him versus JDM. That's not going to happen. If, obviously, the Colby Covington one's there, that's a mega fight. Again, don't think that's going to happen. That's another opponent that Sean Brady called out. But Ian Gary beat Sean Brady. Like, yes, Sean Brady, look, that he has improved so much. And I do think he is an elite level fighter. And I do think he can compete for titles. But there's just guys in the welterweight division. It seems to be like a massive jump up from like 10, 9, 8, 7, 6. And then from 6 maybe up to 1. 6 to 3. There's like massive jumps, if you know what I mean. The higher up the division you get. More so in other divisions, in my opinion, anyway. I think Ian Gary beats Sean Brady. I think Colby Covington, stylistically, that could be maybe a fight that interests Colby because Sean Brady doesn't really have any finishing potential outside of his jiu-jitsu, and I don't know if he'd be able to implement that style on someone like Colby Covington. Plus, Sean Brady is there to be hit, and I do feel like he might break under pressure, and Gilbert Burns just didn't put him under any pressure there tonight. Plus, Gilbert Burns also landed some pretty good takedowns on Sean Brady, but overall, very, very clinical performance for Sean Brady. Touching on some of the other stuff over the fight, over the card, Jessica Andrade, Natalia Silva had a pretty decent fight. Definitely not fight of the night. Cal Nelson got done dirty with those elbows. Matt Chanel, the chinniest guy in UFC history, has officially retired. He got caught up in a pretty nasty submission. What else do I want to talk about? Felipe Dos Santos lost to Andre Lima. Lima is undefeated still. Felipe Dos Santos made a couple mistakes in there. Makes you wonder how actually good is Manel Kape, because Felipe Dos Santos took that fight on short notice and went to a split decision with him. Overall though, UFC Fight Night, Gilbert Burns versus Sean Brady was entertaining. I think Gilbert Burns is done here. Let me know your opinions in the comments below, and as always, like, share, subscribe, comment, all that good stuff, and I'll see you again in the next one.